My long-awaited book, Astrology Realized, is finally available and waiting for you at Amazon and other online retailers. Get one for you, your loved one, or as a gift. All part of your fabulous journey to understanding astrology. Enjoy. Hello, fabulous Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope for 2014. Thank you for being here. There are a couple of things that are taking place in the sky that I think are going to be most important for you. Now, Mercury is often thought of as the lower octave of your ruling planet, your modern ruling planet, Uranus. This year, Mercury is going to spend time in retrograde through each of the air signs and early in the year in your sign. What we also have going, especially towards the fall of this year, is Jupiter in a very rare and harmonious conversation with your ruling planet, Uranus. And so I'd like you to think about this as a process, right? We're going to take this as step by step, because each one of these retrograde periods does represent an important time for you. And much of this year is going to be about you and your fulfillment. What is it that you need to truly feel happy, to truly feel at peace with yourself, to feel fulfilled? Where is it that you need to be? What is it that you need to believe? In many ways, that can seem like a very personal process, but it really doesn't stay there. It doesn't stay as something that's just in you and lofty, as the case may be. But what does happen this year that I find really very special is a couple of things. One is, I really like the way in which this year, yes, you have those personal understandings. You're having those realizations. You're getting clear on what really matters to you. And that's actually really important for those of you, for people of your sign. So you're getting clear about what matters to you, what's going to motivate you, what's going to bring you joy, as I keep saying, and the vision for your life, and really believing that you can have an amazing life. You're working on all of that, but then you go into implementation. And so the first part of the year, if you allow me, break down the year into 3 chunks, okay? So the first part of the year is about you getting clear on yourself, you understanding yourself, what really matters to you, who are you really? And then you start to implement that financially. How is that now going to help you to create more prosperity for yourself? And I'm seeing you actually make a lot of connections that end up being very prosperous for you. And that happens in the first part of the year. And then we get you to the middle 4 months of the year. And that's when it starts to be much more personal. It starts to be about, what do I need to feel fulfilled? What do I need to feel self-actualized? Self-actualization comes from Maslow's hierarchy, and I'm a big fan of this. I love talking about Maslow's hierarchy because I do think that this is a huge point to life. A huge point of our lives is to self-actualize, to be well used for the things we like about ourselves most, and to fully tap into our creativity and to feel like we're living a really purposeful life. That's ultimately the best. We are at our best when we live from that space. And you're going to get a chance to really consider what that's going to mean for you, whether or not the path that you're on is actually going to help you to get there. And where it isn't, you are going to actually start to make changes to your lived experience so that your day-to-day habits start supporting where it is that you are going to find your self-actualization. And I know that on one level that can sound really superficial, but I don't mean it in a superficial way at all. I mean this very personally. I mean this on a heart level. I mean this in you understanding that there's something within you that is worthy of shining and being seen, and you trusting the path for your life, and you trusting your creativity, and then living from that space. You actually doing things, especially on a work level, you implementing things on a work level that again help you to have a different lived experience, that help you to gain greater prosperity in the bigger picture of your life. And then we get you to the last third of the year, and it is about vision. How high do you want to go? Where is it that you see your life going? Where is it that you are now? And how does that fit into the trajectory of a more inspired vision? Just how much of the world do you want to step out onto? And very quickly, you take that understanding and you translate that into career gains and changes on the career front for you. I do think that overall this year is very much about you shining, about you being seen, about you owning your right to have a voice and to have that voice heard, and just really putting yourself out there in bigger and more wonderful ways. And of course, it is in the last third of the year that Jupiter and Uranus start their dance. And this is going to be very special. I'm going to talk about it in the Jupiter special videos once we get a little bit later into 2014. But for now, what I can say is that I think that this is going to be so good for you in terms of you attracting people to support that vision, attracting people and having conversations and meeting people almost randomly at times who help to support you, who feel like they really fit with you and where it is that you're going, what it is that you're trying to do in the world, what it is that you hope to accomplish, and what it is that you are doing, what it is that you are accomplishing. You're going to get the right support systems in place, the right networks in place, and also the right partnerships in place to all help you along these endeavors. It is a really great year for you. It's a year of a lot of gains. It's a year when you see a more inspired vision and you start to bring yourself into alignment with it. So I'm not saying thankfully, right? Thankfully, it isn't necessarily a year where all of the Oscars are yours, but it is a year when you finally understand what you need to do to put yourself in trajectory to eventually getting that Oscar, and then actually taking that action, understanding what you need to do, and then actually doing it, and then seeing evidence of that supported, that yes, you are on that path. And that is what makes it especially exciting, perhaps more so than if you were to just get all the Oscars. What makes it more exciting is that you're actually on the path. You're in the trajectory of your dreams and of great accomplishments, greater than anything you've known before.